Ready for a deep dive into something delicious? Let's talk about Porto, Portugal, but specifically their food scene. Today we're diving into Time Out Market Porto. You had some questions about what makes this one special, right?
Absolutely. So imagine the best of a city's food scene all in one place. Time Out Markets, they curate these amazing food halls, and Porto, yeah, they're really upping the game.
Okay, now you've got me hooked.
Yeah.
So, what makes this market stand out? What's the big deal?
Well, first, picture this. You're walking through São Bento Station, right? One of the most stunning train stations, ever.
I've seen pictures. It's gorgeous.
Right. So this market, it's located in the South Wing, and the space was redesigned by Souto de Moura, the Pritzker Prize-winning architect.
Wow, the location alone sounds like an experience.
Yeah.
But let's get to the good stuff, the food.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. It's all about what they call editorial curation. Forget those random food court chains. Here, every single vendor is handpicked, carefully chosen by Time Out's own critics. So you've got this amazing mix of Michelin star chefs and then these beloved local places.
So the best of the best. Give me some names. Who are we talking about here?
Imagine trying a dish by Rui Pala. This chef is known for his really interesting approach to traditional Douro cuisine.
Douro cuisine, that's the Douro Valley region, right?
Exactly. He uses those classic cooking methods and ingredients, but with his own twist.
Wow. Traditional, but with a modern take? Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Anyone else I should know about?
Oh yeah, there's more. How about Ricardo Costa? He brings his own unique style, influenced by his hometown, Aveiro.
So we've got these big-name chefs, but you mentioned local heroes, too. It's kind of cool to see both worlds collide like that.
Exactly. It's that balance that makes this market so special. You're getting the best of the best, those culinary superstars, but you're also tapping into the heart and soul of Porto's food scene.
Okay, so we've got our Michelin star chefs, but what about those, hidden gems, those local places that you have to try?
Now we're talking. There's a place called Meia Now. They do this amazing, really fresh take on Matosinhos-style grilled fish and seafood.
That's Matosinhos style. What is that exactly?
So picture this. You have your seafood, right? And it's grilled, perfectly. Just a little salt, a touch of olive oil, and that smoky flavor from the charcoal.
Oh, I can almost taste it. Sounds delicious. What about for someone who wants to try those, really traditional dishes? What should they order?
You got to try the octopus fillets with rice at Casa Inés. People rave about it.
Octopus and rice. Okay, I'm intrigued. I've never heard of that combination before.
Right. But trust me, it's amazing. The octopus is cooked, so it's nice and tender. And then they serve it with this flavorful, tomatoey rice dish.
That sounds like the perfect comfort food, but with a unique twist. Speaking of local favorites, what about Padaria Ribeiro? A bakery that's been open since the 1800s. There have to be some stories there.
Oh, absolutely. Padaria Ribeiro. They're like Porto royalty, baking up traditional breads and pastries since 1878. I mean, can you imagine? Those recipes have been passed down for generations.
Oh, that's incredible. So we're talking about some seriously good treats there. And speaking of treats, you mentioned earlier that Chef Vasco Coelho Santos has this must-try dessert. But before we get into that, I'm curious, this incredible building that the market is located in, but one by Souto de Moura, is there anything else we should know about?
Oh, you're in for a treat. Remember how we talked about that 21-meter tower?
And one inspired by those old water tanks.
Yep, that one. At the base of the tower, you'll find a Vida Portuguesa. It's this shop filled with the coolest Portuguese souvenirs and gifts, really unique stuff.
Okay, now you've piqued my interest. Tell me more about this tower. Souvenirs are fun, but I'm always up for exploring.
Right. So at the very top, there's this restaurant called Sala de Prova. You get these panoramic views of the city, and get this, they do wine tastings curated by Bento Amaral, the winemaker.
Okay, stop. You had me at panoramic views. That sounds absolutely incredible.
It's the whole experience. You're savoring amazing food, taking in the views, and then the wine. It's like the perfect recipe for a memorable evening.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Speaking of deliciousness, we can't forget that must-try dessert you mentioned. The one by Vasco Coelho Santos. What's the deal with that?
So picture this. Golden rabanadas. And you might be thinking, French toast. Okay. But seriously, this isn't your average French toast. It's all about the textures. Crispy and caramelized on the outside, but then inside, it's incredibly soft and custardy.
Sold. Now that is a dessert. Is there a story behind it?
Totally. It's actually a really cool twist on a traditional Portuguese recipe. They usually make it with leftover bread, especially after Christmas. So it's taking something kind of humble and making it extraordinary.
It's amazing how food can transport you to another place.
Yeah.
You take a bite and you instantly get a taste of a culture. Okay, so you've got me dreaming about all this amazing food,
Right.
but realistically, what can someone expect to spend at Time Out Market Porto?
Honestly, that's one of the best parts. It's surprisingly affordable. You want to try Rui Paula's duck rice? It's about 16 euros. Seafood lover. Rafael Luzada's prawn moqueca is around 20.
Those prices are way better than I expected,
Uh,
especially considering, everything we've talked about.
right. And if you're on a budget, Nuno Castro's burrata mushroom toast is a steal at 10.90. Or Ricardo Costa does this Berlin ball with truffle beef stew for like 10 euro. So there really is something for everyone.
This whole market sounds like a culinary adventure waiting to happen.
That's the perfect way to put it. Time Out Market Porto captures the energy of the city. It celebrates both those renowned chefs and the local heroes.
Well, you've definitely convinced me. Time Out Market Porto is at the top of my must-visit list now.
You won't regret it. So tell me, with all these amazing options, what will your first bite be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But I think I have to go with those golden rabanadas, that Portuguese twist on French toast. That's calling my name.
Excellent choice. Until next time then, happy travels and bon appetit.